Disco Elysium is known for being fairly open, with multiple ways to approach your main objective of finding the murderer, as well as many side quests around Martinez. So what if we ignore all that and try to finish the game with as little work as possible? That's what I decided to find out, and here are the results. Let's set up some ground rules. The goal is to be as lazy of a cop as possible. We want to avoid any police work we can, only doing the bare minimum to progress the game. I call this the average American cop playthrough. We don't do any side quests unless we need to, and we prioritize being selfish and corrupt. So, no opening a nightclub in the church, that's a lot of work. But breaking into some random apartments to steal stuff from them is fine. It's surprising how little you can interact with the world before finishing the game. This is not exactly a speedrun, nor is it exactly a low percent run. I am sure there is ways you can finish the game faster or with less XP by just save scamming some checks. Here I go out of my way a little bit to ensure I have a reasonable chance of passing all required checks, but no major detours. First, let's plan out our route. I need to thank Disco Reader and both Disco Elysium Wikis here. It would have been so much harder to do it without them. Disco Reader is an unofficial utility that displays all dialogue in the game in a graph format, which let me check what dialogues are strictly necessary to finish the game. And Disco Elysium Wikis helped me out with planning which clothing and thoughts to get and what modifiers apply to which skill checks. As you probably know, the endgame of Disco Elysium is gatekept by White Shiver's check with difficulty of 20. It's the one check you absolutely need to pass to finish the game. Once this check is passed, the rest of the game plays itself out without any roadblocks. Now, usually, even if you go 6 points in Fizz and Shivers as your signature skill, you'd still need a critical success to pass this check. The intended way to do this is to walk around Martinez and complete side quests, with each side quest adding a modifier to the check, unlocking the check and making it easier. However, thanks to the powers of fascism and alcohol combined, we can skip all that and instead raise our fizz by additional 6 by internalizing Revashoya nationhood thought and drinking all 3 alcohols from 3. There is a perhaps little known mechanic where you can't stack the exact same consumable at the same time, but you can stack different consumables of the same type. So you can drink 4 beers, but a beer, vodka and wine will stack. Revashoya nationhood will double fizz gain from alcohol, boosting our fizz by 6 when we are totally shit-faced. This raises our total fizz to 13, and we only need a roll of 7, which has more than 50% chance. Add 1 Shivers from a shirt we can buy, and 1 Shivers from a skill point, and this check becomes very likely to pass without finishing a single side quest. With that figured out, what do we need to do to unlock the check in the first place? This check only appears after we finish a series of quests centered around Titus and the Hardy Boys. Overall, you need to pass an authority check, a rhetoric check, and a logic check for Titus to give you Robbie's last known location. Then we go to the washerwoman in the village, find the bullet under the floorboards, then talk to the washerwoman again. After that, we can inspect the Feldmoral and try the Shivers check. Once again, the checks against Titus are extremely difficult, and you are supposed to make them easier by collecting evidence of the crime and doing side quests. However, all 3 of them have a kind of a failsafe, where after failing for the 3rd time, you can ask Kim to take it over, and he will proceed as if you passed the check. So we don't need to actually pass them, as long as we have means of resetting the checks multiple times. Without further ado, let's start a new game and see how it goes. We are going with 1-4-6-1 build with Shivers as signature. Looking back at it, putting 1 or 2 points in motorics would have been helpful for reasons I'll mention later, but it's not a big deal. We wake up, try to grab our tie,
You reach out to
fail,
grab the tie.
try again, succeed.
You swoop up and catch the tie.
Dress up and leave the room. I forgot to grab my shirt here, but I grab it in the evening. We grab our second shoe, disregard
Hello,
Harlot,
officer.
and go downstairs. I try to leave quietly, but Kim
As you
won't let
approach
me.
the door leading out of
We
the
have to talk to Garte at some point so that we can go back to our room, so
there,
we can
in
as
this
well
late
do it
20
now. We threaten to arrest him, but we
The
are
words
too
leave your
pathetic
mouth as
and
if
Kim
walking
won't
up a
let
stick.
us.
Oh, so apparently I'm a bitch now.
We grab
You need to
Lonesome
contact your
Long Way
station.
Home
Ask your
tote,
people.
You can try.
which is nice but not really necessary. Since we only have access to 3 thought cabinet slots without spending skill points, we need to only internalize thoughts we really need.
Before you stand
We
front of
exit the
eminence.
cafeteria,
In the
grab
cabin,
all the tools
you're
from the
welcomed
car
by a set
and
of
do
steering
nothing
wheels,
else
a
there.
radio.
We grab a random pack of 6 from the ground, shoot some shit with Tommy, talk to the racist lorry driver, keeping in mind we need to pick unpopular guy dialogue to get a fascist point.
I've read books.
We go talk to Renee, mess up their game just because we can, listen to him talk about history and pick another fascist option. We walk up to Kuno, insult him, punch him for no reason, then tell him he's worthless. There is no need to do that, but as an average American cop, using violence without fear of repercussion for absolutely no reason is our duty. We go to his shed and grab few things from there and the roofs above. Now, we could be picking up balls to sell at Fritz, but that's awfully close to working, so we're not doing that. We harass an artist, try to get inside the apartment complex, but the lady won't let us in. So we go around back, talk to the least straight man in Revachol, and get a key from him. If we fail to this check, we could go back to the front door and pass an easy authority check to get in anyway, so that's not a big deal. The apartment complex is optional anyway. We walk around, grab some stuff, harass Cindy more, and leave.
Yeah.
Outside, we are not talking to Joyce because that counts as working on the case. We go inside the bookstore and buy Heimdall book. Some books can only be read once, but this particular one can be read over and over, skipping as many hours as we want to. Since we are restricting ourselves from like 80% of all interactions, we need this to progress time to the next day.
The back room is strictly for employees
We
only.
disregard the woman, go to the back, try to break down the door, fail, try again, succeed. Inside we grab a bunch of stuff, but most importantly filament memory, which we can sell for a lot of money. We look
Your
at the
flashlight
board and
slides
production
over
schedule,
an
then we go downstairs and kick the furnace. We go back upstairs and hit the door to the dice maker's room.
Nothing happened.
Turns out, you can't yell into the furnace without having accepted the quest from Plaisance.
Surprisingly sturdy.
We don't end up needing dice from the dice maker on this run, but she was my backup plan if I failed some checks and needed dice to unlock them. We go to Roy's pawn shop, sell our stuff and bump some drugs from him. We go to Fritz and buy all 3 types of alcohol. I should have done this later at day 3 when I had more money, but overall it didn't matter. I wake up a random dude in the bar because I'm an asshole. No other reason. I take a sip of wine as electrochemistry suggests for some more XP. I read the book for 11 hours to finish the day.
Take them to the pawn
I
shop
let Kim
so
pay
no one can
Garte for me without a shred of shame.
couple of weeks
The briefing
jurisdiction,
with Kim
well,
goes amazingly,
we didn't
having
give him
done
that, and there's
absolutely
still much
nothing
to
for
do as
the
a
entire
He
day.
would have put all of this more harshly, but he doesn't want you to feel completely discouraged. Probably because he's afraid that you'll just give up and
As for we weren't able to find the union leader, Evrat. We didn't talk to above all though.
Can I
First thing
help
in the
you?
morning, we pay
Got the
Garte for the next
You
night,
got the room from
and
enough,
then it's
but-
time to talk to Titus.
anyone.
We get right in his face to establish dominance. Here the game actually forces you to work, as you can't proceed with the interrogation if you don't have at least some
Don't worry.
evidence.
We are resourceful.
The easiest way to do this is to go look at the dead body, pass the check and look at the belt. If we failed the check, we could have gone to Fritz for some ammonia, and if we failed again, we would have to internalize the volumetric shit compressor thought. Thankfully, we passed on the first round, so we don't need to take any detours here. We look at the belt and go right back to Hardy's, because that is all we needed. We talk with Hardy's some more and get met with the first of the 3 checks we need to either pass or fail 3 times. We failed the first time, take the opportunity to be a little bit racist, and to unlock it again we need to buy the viral game from the bookstore and take dice from it.
Unless you had questions.
We don't have enough money, so we read the exact same book as before for the rest of the day and go to sleep. Next day we open the way to the village, grab anything we see around, walk up to the totally random and unrelated car and grab the fuel canister.
That's a surprise tool that can help us later.
We talk to the washerwoman, accept her offer of free housing and say some racist stuff again. By this point we've been racist enough that we get the Ravasholian nationhood thought, which we don't strictly need if we are okay with safe scamming the sheriff's check, but it sure makes it easier. We internalize it, go further west and grab some more stuff. We have enough money for the viral game, so we start walking back towards the bookstore. We run into Ceiling and try to extort him for money, but we are too stupid to even ask for a bribe properly. We get the board game, grab the dice and try the authority check against Titus again. We surprisingly succeed this low chance dice roll, but here is a quick look into what I planned if it failed. Go into apartment complex, break into random communist's apartment, get his bullet and his jacket, walk all the way to the unopenable door, smoke a cigarette and try to open it. We do all this to get the one more door top, which we can only get if we try to open this door while we have conceptualization of 4. We start with 1, get 1 from our shirt, 1 from communist's jacket and 1 from the cigarette. Internalizing this thought unlocks all currently locked blue checks, which is precisely what we need. But regardless, we go to Classie's room, confiscate her drugs, talk to her about the murder. Kim will not let us leave before asking enough questions. Go back to Hardy's, we don't need the tape, that's just extra work. Time to pass the second Titus check. This time there is no funny way to unlock it, I just lever rhetoric twice, fail 3 times, and Kim takes over. In the following argument, we make sure not to talk to Tao or he will shoot us. Titus tells us about Ruby, we go back to Classie, talk a bit more, go back to Titus again. We want to get Ruby's location from him, but for that we need to pass the 3rd check. Now, at this point the game really wants us to meet Joyce, giving us negative 20 modifier if we haven't. I suspect this is because passing this check makes Joyce move to the other shore, and if we haven't met her by then, it breaks her dialogue a bit. But we don't care and brute force the check regardless. The skills will tell us exactly what we need to do to make this check easier. We, of course, are doing none of that. We'll just level logic twice and fail the check until Kim handles it for us. Titus gives us the info we need, and now it's home stretch. We go to the shack, take some speed for perception boost, and grab boots from a crate behind Lillian. We walk a bit more, grab some spare change, buy frog from Ceiling, then try to extort him for money using our newfound ability of reading. The reason we've taken all this detour is because we want a shirt from Roy's shop, but we need a perception of 4 to interact with it. This is why putting a point in motorics would have been easier. We wouldn't need to get the frog cap. We yell at an old woman, find a bullet in our shack. It does not show up until you do all of this, by the way. Talk to the woman again, and now we can finally go look at the failed mural. We go there, wait until Ravasholian nationhood internalizes, get utterly wasted, then fail the first check, which you fail even if you pass. Kim asks us to do work. We say fuck that and level up Shivers instead. We are so drunk the stat screen is broken. Then pass the very easy 83% chance check. We really did not know. We try to teleport to the roof but fail. Thankfully the door below is no match for alcohol-filled body. We get absolutely cross-faded before confrontation with Ruby, disregard anything she has to say, destroy her machine, then let her kill herself. Negotiation, interrogation, and talking down suicidal people is work, and we are not doing that. We grab her gun, steal her stuff, move her body, and take her journal. Unfortunately, Kim once again insists on doing our job properly, so we have to read the journal. We go back to Whirling and stumble upon the tribunal. We make no attempts to de-escalate the situation, shoot immediately, miss, get shot twice, let Kim get shot as well, and get a bunch of bystanders killed. After we wake up, we tell Kuno to fuck off. The only way to proceed now is to inspect window in Classius' room. We could have done that before, but 1. That's work, and we only do work when it's absolutely necessary, and 2. If you leave doing this off until after the tribunal, the voice check is actually guaranteed to pass even if you roll a critical miss. To actually finish the ballistics, we need a map. So we go to the bookstore, happily accept the free map and try again. Now we can set off to the island. So, remember the fuel canister we picked up way back? Turns out, if you have it in your inventory, you can just restart the generator over here immediately. This saves us from additional work. We open the door and walk out to meet with the deserter. We assert our authority by telling Old Man to drop his rifle. We talk to him a little bit until we get the option to arrest him, which we take without trying to establish a motive or frankly find out anything whatsoever. The Phasmid shows up, and even though we roll a critical success, it's rigged to always fail if you have not finished the cryptozoology quest. We grab the helmet and scope for no reason other than because we can, and go back to the mainland. Jean tells us that we are a worthless, brain-dead alcoholic, we get the Steam achievement for not having inspected the body, and tell Jean to fuck off. We get placed on an administrative leave. We now live in a shack with no rent and don't have to work. Happy ending! In the end, we have not talked to Joyce, never even entered the harbor, let alone talk to Everard. Did not take the body down, did not do any of the side quests, did not establish a motive or really prove that the deserter did it at all. We leveled up a total of 5 times. This playthrough was super fun to plan out. I hope you liked my video, goodbye and take care.